Hey there and welcome to another Halo action figure review. Today we're taking a look at a 2-pack of figures that contains Spartan Mk V and, well, we're just going to call it Jega. We're not even going to try and pronounce that last name, so bear with me. I'm just going to say Jega throughout the entire video whenever I reference this guy over here. So I'm not going to flip around. This is a big box. This is a really big box. I'm not going to flip it around. It's got the same standard back that we've seen before with Master Chief running across the back on like a purpley blue background. There's nothing of interest on the sides. The best thing, the most interesting, is what's inside the package, so let's get this thing open now. All right, we're back. They're out of the package, Spartan and Jega, and I will just point this out to you real quick. This guy is really hard to stand. I thought the Jackal Sniper was hard to stand up. This guy, I tried for maybe 15 minutes to get this guy to stand up, and I can't get him to stand up. That's not to say it's impossible, but that's why he's on a figure stand. So anyway, yeah, so he's really difficult to stand up. So let's take a peek at the accessories real quick. The blue Spartan figure comes with this shock rifle. It's really cool, really actually kind of detailed looking. It's got the brown handles and brown under handle holder area. The whole thing is kind of a couple shades of gray there. You've got this area, flip it around, and mine has a bit of a bent peg. That will go in the Spartan's back, so it'll attach to his back there. Anyway, but it's a pretty cool weapon. Jega comes with the energy sword. It's pretty cool and pretty simple. A silver handle, and then the rest of it's kind of an orange reddish, a little bit of yellow right there. Flip it around, there's no peg, there's nothing hooking it back. He's just going to hold it the whole time. He's not going to hook it anywhere. And both of the figures come with this kind of a rocky, stony, dirty-looking figure stand. It's got 2 pegs right there, so you could probably try to put 2 figures on there or just put both feet on there. But I like these figure stands. These are neat, the way they hook together. Next, we'll take a look at the blue Spartan first, simply because he's easier. So he's got the mix of blue and black and gray armor pieces, silver mask. It's kind of a shiny mask. It's not like the 6-inch figures where it's got that really mirrored look, but it's a cool shiny. Let me see if I can get my finger in there so you can actually see it here. So it's a really neat figure. There's the hole in his back. And that will... I might have to leave the gun in there for a while to straighten out that peg. So anyway, let's take a look at his articulation. It should be pretty standard with all the other 4-inch or 3.75-inch figures that we've seen. His head rotates all the way around, looks back and forth. Shoulders, arms rotate all the way around, up and down about that far, both sides. The elbows rotate, and they have a hinge there, a single pin. The wrists rotate around, and they have a vertical motion, up and down. And the torso wiggles, the chest area wiggles, about this much. There we go, kind of something like that. And wiggles around again. The waist does not move. I'm guessing it's kind of hooked in there like the others. Can't really do splits or much of anything. The thighs will rotate, so you can get them to sit kind of like that if you want to. But he does have motion here around the leg and waist area. Double pin knee joint, so you could do really cool jumping poses if that's what you want. And finally, the ankles rotate and they hinge back and forth. So actually, this is probably one of the better figures that I've come across. I like this. I'm glad. I like the blue. I like the color blue. So that's really cool that this is actually one of the better figures I've come across. The 4-inch, the smaller figures generally have been okay. There's been some head issues. I think that's, if I remember right, that's really all it is, has been some head issues. It's really cool that just on the inside of the right leg, they put the information. Instead of like on some of them, they're just like right down the back, really, really out there where you can really see it. So they're legal information. That's kind of cool. We'll set him off to the side. stand him off to the side. Now we're going to take a look at this dude. Bear with me, he's going to fall down probably a lot. Jega. He's got some good articulation, but it's different articulation. So his head will rotate, and it moves back and forth a little bit because of this piece here and the way everything works. He doesn't really move his head except for when I yank it off trying to do something he can't do. The arms there are two different arms here. They both have the shoulder joint. Because of this armor, it doesn't really go up. It has a small bit of motion, but not a lot. And this left arm rotates all the way around. It's like he's got like a robotic arm on this side and a regular, for him, arm on that side. And this will go up more because it's got like a little shoulder piece of armor right there. The elbow is a one-directional. There's no bicep. There's no elbow rotation, so don't try to rotate this. It's going to break. But that goes up and down. And the hand, the wrist, as far as I can tell, only goes back and forth. I haven't tried rotating it. I don't think it will. I think this is all pretty much just a straight arm here. However, the right side, the elbow will rotate and bend back and forth. Now, I don't know what this figure looks like in the game, but the way this is makes me think either the gauntlet's on wrong or the arm something's wrong, because it came out of the package like this. Actually, let me rephrase that. It came out like this, and to me that actually kind of looks right. This would be protecting maybe like an elbow, but this isn't actually on an elbow, and he bends his arms backwards better than forwards. I rotated it around and discovered that I think actually works a whole lot better for movement, but that is not on the elbow. So anyway, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong on that. The wrist will rotate and move back and forth, but there's really not a lot of room for the wrist to rotate. It just kind of does that. He has a nice torso wiggle, kind of back and forth and wiggle around. The waist does not rotate unless you really force it. The legs actually can rotate around really pretty good. This left one keeps wanting to come off, but I pop back on anyway. It's only certain positions. He does have this thigh rotation right there. And he's got kind of like Jackal Sniper, where he's got a double bend in the leg. So this one's back and forth about one notch. It will rotate. And then the one down here will also do that and rotate as well. Finally, the ankle rotates, kind of. There's a bit of a hindrance there, and it does move back and forth like that. So this is kind of a tightly articulated figure, but it can do some things. One thing you're going to have a big struggle on is that getting him to stand. Maybe it's my slick surface here. I don't really know. But I can't get him to stand. It's almost impossible. I could try to contort him. Let's see, we'll do this, lean him back, then he wants to go back. Lean him forward. Oh my goodness. Right there, you see on the camera, the first time I've ever gotten him to stand. So if you're playing with this, there we went. We lost it. I was going to see if I could get him looking at the camera. We lost it, though. Lost it. Almost. Anyway, I won't waste your time. Let's just plop them right here on the figure stand, because next I want to do a quick comparison of figures and how tall they are. All right, here's a bunch of figures standing here next to each other, so you can kind of get an idea of how tall they are next to each other. These generally represent all the different types of figures that I've opened so far, so you won't see the red guy or the white guy out here. But anyway, here's the human-sized figure. Here's kind of I guess, a medium Spartan and Master Chief. And then we got the Jackal Sniper. We've got the Brute Captain. And then we got Jega right there. You just kind of compensate for the fact he's up on a stand. It's not real thick, but he should still be taller than Brute Captain, unless he's supposed to have unless his legs are supposed to be kind of squished down like more like Jackal, and then, well, he's probably about the same size or shorter. But there's kind of a good representation there. We'll see real quick if I can get the guns in their hands, and then we'll wrap this up. All right, we're wrapping this up with him all geared up. He's got his rifle and he's got his sword, and yep, the sword actually fits in this guy's hand really, really well, considering that it's like 3 fingers and a thumb. The shock rifle here, that's kind of heavy, so I couldn't get him to stand while holding it, and the main part where you hold, it was kind of difficult to get in his hand. It kept wanting to fall out, so you may run into that. But if you're going to be putting this like on a shelf or just display, they actually work really, really well, especially on these stands. I think you'd be real happy, and I think any kid that gets this set for the holidays or any time, I think would really enjoy this set of figures. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up there. That helps the channel. And if you want to be notified when more of these videos show up in the future, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. That bell is important. And then you'll be notified when more of my videos come out. We'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful, great day. Bye.